The sun rose gently over the tranquil gardens of Jetavana Monastery, casting a golden hue upon the earth. Birds chirped melodiously, their songs weaving through the soft rustle of leaves in the morning breeze. Disciples gathered under the sprawling banyan tree, their robes fluttering like whispers of the wind. The Buddha sat serenely, his presence radiating calm and wisdom, drawing all eyes toward him. Disciples, the Buddha began, his voice resonating with clarity and compassion. Today, we shall explore the illusion of ownership. His words hung in the air, profound and thought-provoking, as the disciples leaned in closer. What is it that you truly own? He asked, his gaze sweeping over the attentive faces before him. Ananda, ever eager to learn, ventured a response. Master, we own our possessions, our homes, and the fruits of our labor, he said thoughtfully. The Buddha smiled gently, his eyes reflecting understanding and patience. Ananda, do these possessions remain with you forever? He inquired, his tone inviting reflection rather than judgment. Ananda hesitated, then shook his head. No, Master, they are impermanent, subject to change and loss, he admitted, his voice tinged with realization. The Buddha nodded, his expression serene. Indeed, Ananda, what we claim as ours today may belong to another tomorrow, he affirmed. He gestured toward the earth beneath them. Consider this land, he said, his voice steady and measured. Can any man truly own the earth, which has existed long before him and will endure long after? The disciples exchanged glances, their minds grappling with the depth of the question. The Buddha continued, his words flowing like a gentle stream. Ownership is but an illusion, a construct of the mind that binds us to suffering, he explained. When we cling to possessions, we tether ourselves to fear, greed, and attachment, he added, his tone imbued with compassion. He recounted the tale of a wealthy merchant whose life was consumed by the pursuit of riches. This merchant amassed great treasures, believing they would bring him eternal happiness, the Buddha narrated, his voice painting vivid images in the minds of his listeners. Yet, when death came, he realized he could take none of it with him, he concluded, his words resonating with the truth of impermanence. The disciples listened intently, their hearts and minds absorbing the lesson. True wealth, the Buddha declared, lies not in what we possess but in what we give. His words were like a balm, soothing the restless minds of his disciples. Generosity frees us from the chains of greed and opens the door to boundless joy, he elaborated, his voice carrying the weight of profound wisdom. He turned his gaze to a young monk, whose eyes reflected both curiosity and doubt. What troubles you, my child? The Buddha asked, his tone gentle and inviting. The monk hesitated before speaking. Master, how can we practice generosity when we have so little to give? He inquired, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Let go of what clouds your essence. Embrace clarity, and let your life flow freely, like rivers unbound by barriers. Buddha's voice echoed softly through the gardens, merging with the rustle of leaves and the whispers of nature's harmony. A kind word, a helping hand, or a moment of your time can be the greatest gifts of all, he added, his words illuminating the path of selflessness. He shared the story of a poor widow who gave her last coin to a hungry child. Though she had little, her heart was rich with compassion, the Buddha recounted, his voice filled with admiration. Her act of kindness brought her a joy that no wealth could ever provide, he concluded, his words inspiring hope and understanding. His words lingered in the air, their resonance stretching beyond the gardens, touching lives and reshaping perspectives near and far. Another day, the sun rose gently over Jetavana, casting golden light through the branches of ancient, towering trees. Remember, disciples, the Buddha said, his voice gentle yet firm, you are not what you buy, you are what you share. as the sun climbed higher in the sky. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts filled with gratitude and resolve. He bowed deeply before Buddha, his voice trembling. "Master, I am bound by expectations. My duties overwhelming and suffocating." Buddha's gaze met the prince's, calm and unwavering, radiating compassion that instantly began to soothe the prince's inner turmoil. Another day, the sun rose over the banks of the Ganges River, its waters shimmering under the golden morning light. The Buddha walked with his disciples, their footsteps soft against the dew-kissed grass. The air was filled with the gentle murmur of the river, a soothing melody that calmed restless minds. "Disciples," the Buddha began, his voice steady and serene. "Today, we shall speak of desire and its deceptive nature." His words carried the weight of profound truth, drawing the attention of all who listened. "Desire," he continued, "is like a mirage in the desert, promising fulfillment but leaving us parched and yearning for more." The disciples sat in quiet contemplation, their eyes fixed on the flowing river. "Observe the Ganges," the Buddha said, gesturing toward the water. "It moves effortlessly, never clinging to the banks or resisting the current." His words painted a vivid picture of harmony and acceptance. A young monk named Rahula spoke, his voice filled with curiosity. "Master, how can we overcome the pull of desire?" he asked, his question echoing the struggles of many. "Master," the prince asked, "how do I release this attachment to my role, my identity, and the expectations of others?" Buddha smiled gently, as though the answer was as simple as the breeze rustling through the leaves. "Begin with mindfulness, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment or reaction, as though you are watching passing clouds," Buddha instructed. "When we are present in the moment," the Buddha explained, "we see desires for what they truly are, temporary and insubstantial." His words resonated deeply, offering a path to liberation from the chains of longing. "Consider the story of a farmer," the Buddha began, his voice weaving a tale that captivated his disciples. "This farmer longed for rain to nourish his crops," the Buddha narrated, his tone steady and measured. "He prayed and pleaded, but the skies remained clear, and his despair grew." The disciples listened intently, their minds painting vivid images of the farmer's plight. In his sorrow, he failed to notice the dew that gently watered his fields each morning, the Buddha concluded. The lesson was clear, its simplicity profound. "Happiness is not found in the fulfillment of desires," the Buddha declared, "but in the acceptance of what is." His words were like a balm, soothing the restless hearts of his disciples. "Let go of the mirage, and you will discover the oasis within," he added, his voice filled with quiet conviction. The disciples sat in silence, their minds reflecting on the teachings they had received. "Detach not from your duties, but from the need to control outcomes. For life unfolds as it must," he added. The prince knelt before Buddha, his royal stature humbled by the overwhelming sense of liberation filling his being. "Freedom lies in letting go." He turned his gaze to a disciple whose eyes reflected doubt. "What troubles you, my child?" the Buddha asked, his tone gentle and inviting. The disciple hesitated before speaking. "Master, is it wrong to desire a better life for oneself and others?" he inquired, his voice tinged with uncertainty. The Buddha's smile was warm and reassuring. "Not all desires are harmful," he explained. "The desire to alleviate suffering and cultivate compassion is noble and virtuous. Do not seek to control every moment, for life is best lived when it flows like water within the clay pot." The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts and minds ready to embody the teachings of detachment and mindful freedom. He shared the story of a king who sought to bring prosperity to his kingdom. This king worked tirelessly, driven by his desire to serve his people, the Buddha recounted. Yet, he remained unattached to the fruits of his labor. Finding joy in the act of giving itself, the disciples listened, their hearts and minds absorbing the lesson. True freedom, the Buddha declared, is not the absence of desire but the mastery of it. His words illuminated the path of balance and wisdom. When we are free from the grip of craving, we find peace, he concluded, as the sun climbed higher in the sky. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts filled with gratitude and resolve. The farmer bowed respectfully, then spoke, "Master, my life is humble, yet I feel rich in ways I cannot explain." Buddha nodded, his gaze warm and inviting as he gestured to the farmer to sit among the disciples. Another day, the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm glow over the quiet Jetavana monastery. The disciples gathered around the Buddha, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of an oil lamp. The air was still, carrying the faint scent of sandalwood and the soft hum of evening chants. "Disciples," the Buddha began, his voice calm and steady. "Today, we shall speak of the truth of impermanence." His words resonated deeply, drawing the attention of all who listened. "Life," he continued, "is like the flame of this lamp, ever changing and fleeting, yet illuminating the darkness. In simplicity lies abundance, and in mindfulness lies peace. Our lives are often cluttered with desires for more, obscuring the beauty and fulfillment within what we already have," Buddha explained. His words painted a vivid picture of the human condition, fraught with attachment and longing. An elder monk named Sariputta spoke, his voice filled with curiosity. "This transforms the act of drinking into an experience of abundance," Buddha added. The disciples listened intently, their hearts moved by both the farmer's humility and Buddha's profound teachings. "By embracing impermanence, Sariputta," he replied, his tone gentle yet resolute, "impermanence," the Buddha explained, "is not a curse but a gift, reminding us to cherish each moment and live with intention." His words offered a path to liberation from the chains of fear and attachment. "Consider the story of a potter," the Buddha began, his voice weaving a tale that captivated his disciples. "This potter crafted a beautiful vase, knowing it would one day break," the Buddha narrated, his tone steady and measured. Yet, he poured his heart into its creation, finding joy in the process rather than the outcome. "Live as this tree lives, finding balance and sustaining peace through connection to what truly nurtures your soul," he added. The farmer nodded and said, "I understand, Master. You are not defined by the fleeting moments of your life," the Buddha declared, "but by the wisdom you gain from them." His words were like a balm, soothing the restless hearts of his disciples. "Embrace impermanence, and you will find the eternal truth," he added, his voice filled with quiet conviction. The disciples sat in silence, their minds reflecting on the teachings they had received. The disciples bowed deeply, their minds filled with reflection on the teachings of mindful abundance Buddha had shared. Buddha's voice carried through the gardens, merging with the rustling leaves and the gentle hum of nature's harmony. "Peace lies in accepting its rhythm." He turned his gaze to a disciple whose eyes reflected doubt. "What troubles you, my child?" the Buddha asked, his tone gentle and inviting. The disciple hesitated before speaking. "Master, is it wrong to mourn the loss of loved ones?" he inquired, his voice tinged with sorrow. The Buddha's smile was warm and reassuring. "Grief is a natural response to loss," he explained, "but clinging to it binds us to suffering." Buddha's presence, though silent, echoed through the hearts of those around him, a beacon of peace and wisdom. As the day unfolded, Jetavana flourished as a haven of mindfulness, simplicity, and the richness born of purposeful living. The disciples vowed to carry the teachings forward, planting seeds of abundance and mindfulness wherever their paths might lead. "I asked her to bring me a mustard seed from a home untouched by death." The disciples listened, their hearts heavy with the weight of the story. She searched every home, but found none free from loss, the Buddha continued. Through this, she realized the universality of impermanence. His words illuminated the path of acceptance and understanding. Impermanence connects us all, the Buddha declared, reminding us of our shared humanity and the preciousness of each moment. His words resonated deeply, offering a sense of unity and solace. When we embrace impermanence, we find freedom and peace, he concluded. Siddhartha remained beneath the tree, his presence a beacon of serenity and compassion, his mission of wisdom unending. The night enveloped the monastery, a silent witness to the profound exchange, its stillness echoing with the light of eternal truth. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.